Hello everyone, we're going to be streaming some Bughouse here on chess.com. This is Bughouse World Championships, the 7th Challenger Arena out of 8. And I'm going to start watching here. Right now we're watching Mazzarioli and Ladybug99 versus Esmeralda Anderson 03 and Unicorn. And Ladybug got mated. So unfortunately left this position open, or even a pawn would have made it there. Alright, we're going to find some teams to follow. Let's see who's in this arena. Not many teams, though the arena has just started. Agredion is in, as always. See a lot of familiar faces. Let's check Ovediak. I think this is the first arena Ovediak, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, is competing in. He is attacking. Probably, yeah, pawn at e5. Attack these weak dark squares. His partner seems safe. Currently attacking knights. Need to save the queen. Could grab a pawn. You could come back. Or you could just stall. Queen here is fine too. So target this. Ovediak picks up a free knight due to the pin. Now you can take this knight a few times. So maybe he's just going to start checking. Pawn check, then knight check. Something like that. Queen takes pawn. Oh, I would have gotten the queen in, or you could. This is a missed opportunity. Yeah, so a pawn would have made it at the end there, or a knight, or a rook. Now we see Ovediak playing against Ladybug. Ladybug is partnered a National Master this time. Last arena she was partnered with a Grandmaster. She's found some pretty good partners. So they're trading a lot on the right board. Let's see who can more effectively use the pieces on the left board. Ladybug giving up a piece for a pawn. Don't think she needed to do that. So not much action going on the right board. On the left board, it looks like Ovediak is using the pieces more effectively. Put in some pressure on Ladybug. Probably going to sack on f2. Oh, maybe not immediately here. Maybe just a pawn on g4. Then something on h3 after this. This isn't really a threat, so knight on. Yeah, if king over, then you had knight takes. So you can take this. Ovediak should have mate pretty quickly. I think queen up would have been better than putting the bishop in there. But this is going to lead to mate anyway. You could just take with queen. I don't like that. No reason to give up a queen. Bishop check is a possibility. The queen would be good. Oh, Yeah, knight takes his mate, smothered mate. Thanks, Panda. Really appreciate it. Yeah, 4 years ago I got partner on Twitch. All right, they're partnering on the My High Android board. I'm sorry, they're trading on the My High Android board. Ovidiok trying to get something going on the light squares, it looks like. And I like this move a lot. He's attacking this pawn, also attacking this weak square. Impossible to defend both. So he's gonna get something going. That's a free pawn. Going after the rook, that's a free rook. I would take the rook for sure. So that's an extra piece and a pawn for his partner. Now there's a few things you could do here. You could drop a knight in. You could take the knight and then put pressure on these squares afterwards. He's going to take the knight. Maybe knight to h4. Or you could wait for like a pawn for e4. Or he could get this bishop out somewhere. By the way, they're playing against the team with Bughouse Henna on it. I've partnered him a few times on stream. Nice guy. So knight check could be good. Followed by queen in, perhaps. Maybe bishop in. Oh, I was thinking he could deflect the queen. Queen takes pawn to vacate the square for knight check. Could be good. Alternatively, yeah, he found it. I would do knight check and take queen. And even if he takes the queen, you get to take a rook, get a rook out of it, and you're still attacking. I'd take the queen for sure here. Alright, now he can check him this way. Maybe bishop at a4. I don't like this knight check as much because it doesn't guard this square. Probably still going to end up maiden, but he certainly had better. My high entry is attacking nicely here. Knight's going to mate. Even without the knight, you can play rook over. You can play bishop takes bishop. Alright, that's a free rook. Rook over check. Very good. Okay, and that's mate for Ovidiok. Nice job. Alright, let's see how the things are going. Let's check out Unicorn's games. They're in second place. They're on a streak. Ladybug's team is attacking. Oh, Unicorn has a nice attack though now. Ladybug did not play very safe here. So just a few pawns are going to mate. But her partner got mate. That gets the second place team off the streak. Now they're playing against Otuakena and La La La. So that's an early pawn for Esmeralda's Anderson. But he took a long time to make that second move. So I don't know why they're moving so slowly. Time is a part of the game here. I have to watch out for the c2 square. I like this queen move. Now knight could win the queen. Gotta watch out for that. I don't see a knight and take in the near future. Oh, he just hung his queen. That's awkward. So knight crushes for Otoakana. He is asking for one. You could try pawn at c2 perhaps. Oh, he got the knight. Okay, knight check. Now he can take the rook, or no, just mate. He found the mate. We have Hagrid partnered to Q Matter. Hagrid has been in pretty much every arena. I think he's already qualified in the challenger section here. He may have qualified in the open section as well, not sure. But he seems to play with a different partner every time. So I'm not even sure if he's trying to qualify. Maybe he's just trying to get games in. Gotta get this pawn out of here. Oh, I hate that move. This pawn is a real problem. As a chess player, I think he is underestimating how scary this pawn is going to be. Gotta get this bishop out so the rook helps guard the back rank eventually. Now we can take this knight. Threat of queen in the corner. This is the problem with having this pawn here. Now he's dead. You gotta take that pawn more seriously. This is why we have a national master who's still a 1700. So this is a horrible first move. It creates a dark squared weakness on c7, which is going to be targeted for basically the rest of the game. And by the way, h6 is a terrible move as well. It creates weak light squares. So that's going to be a free queen. And then a rook for a knight. Oh, I hate that move. That was a free rook. Why not take the free rook? So Unicorn missing some free pieces here. And now he's sacked the knight for no reason whatsoever. And all of a sudden, he's kind of gone from winning to losing. Here was an opportunity. Bishop check, take the knight. Attack and defend at the same time. Another missed opportunity. Unicorn's playing this really awful. His opponent is gifting him a bunch of free pieces and he's not taking them. Bishop check here. Go after the knight. This is a horrible move. Very easy to defend. It'd be much better to actually make a real attacking move. Now Unicorn is begging his partner for pieces after he hung all of his pieces. That's a free queen, by the way. Knight check, take queen. I don't think you can afford to take it immediately though because of the knight threat back there. I would get this bishop out maybe so the rook guards the back rank. Okay, I think he's mated. Oh, maybe he's not mated anymore. I need to come back here. He was going to be mated. Might be able to get out now. The queen should not have come in. This should have been a pawn. And then the queen could have come in at d8. So I would say more than half of these moves by Unicorn have been blunders. He's thrown away, I think, 6 wins so far. So a bishop would be quite good for black here, for Twilighter. I would take this bishop here. It crushes. There it is. Grab that queen. Now he cannot go this way or he's mated. Okay, now he's mated. So yeah, both players played that really, really horribly. Um, let's look back at Ovediak. So Ovediak is on the attack. He probably wants a knight here. Over's chat. I think I've seen him before. This guy is from Belgium. Candidate Master. Seen Caesar before. And he is from Peru. Ovediak is a very, very safe king. Mostly because of this pawn on e6. Blocking out the bishop. I would probably take this bishop here. Other option would be like d5 to guard the pawn. d5 could still be good. Or just drop a pawn in. New pawn at d5 is a possibility, so there's no en passant. Okay, he's going for the dark squares instead. This is a free pawn on the right board. A lot of possibilities for Ovediak. Finally, he pushes his pawn. With en passant, he can take back with bishop or pawn. That was a big screw up by Caesar. This knight move means with knight check, if he goes to a light square, it's going to be a free bishop. If he goes to a dark square, we could probably just drop another pawn in. So Ovediak gonna win a bunch of free pieces here. His partner seems to be staying safe so far. I would bring this guy back. Target this rook. The rook is the most aggressive piece right now. I would take this for sure and take the free bishop. That's probably not going to happen. Ovediak's probably going to be more aggressive and just start checking a lot. But he should take the free pawn and the free bishop because it helps his partner a lot. Oh, should have waited for a pawn maybe? A pawn would win everything. They are up 40 seconds. Pawn still wins everything. They are again up 40 seconds. I guess he could just stall. Okay, finally he takes the pawn. That wins a queen. He could get this other rook in potentially. Or just wait for material. like a knight mates here. With knight check, king over, rook check, then take. Alright, let's find a game to watch. Let's keep watching Obadiak. His team is on a 7-game streak. Let's see who else is in here. Not that many teams in this arena. They're playing Agridion and RFK Invasion. We're about 20 minutes into the arena. This arena lasts an hour, so about 40 minutes left. Ovidiak defending a little bit. I would try to get this knight out of my face if I were him. This is a scary move because it's targeting the pawn. You could have saved that for later though. And if he was foolish enough to take that, then you do that move. Bishop in, I assume. Okay. We could take a free pawn, but probably better to be more aggressive here. Maybe a new bishop in or something. I'd be worried about knight check, a new knight in. So that doesn't really accomplish much because the bishop's going to take it. Still a scary move. Okay, that is pretty aggressive. I think he can get away with it. And now you gotta watch out for the queen. You gotta keep checking now. Not checking is not an option. I think you have potentially knight back, but oh, knight in is really good. Okay, that was missed. You still have knight in. This should lead to mate. Queen in is mate. Even a pawn in here is mate. Or you could even move the knight. You don't need any pieces because knight here would have been mate. I guess what was that? Knight g2. Knight g2 was mate. I like the development from Obadiak. I play similar lines here. My high Andre is well, I don't like that last move. I don't like g6. That creates some holes in his position. But up until that point, his opening was fine. Oh, I don't like bishop takes. That just opens the rook up. I like this move a lot by my Andre. Gets a pawn out of there. 2 pawns for a knight is an even trade, and that's going to help him defend. You could bring this bishop up. Danger is going to be knight check. Other option is just king up. Okay, now this wins a queen. Knight mates. Or 2 rooks mates. That does not force a knight because of bishop takes. But he blundered. So now there's mate. So that was a failure to communicate from Bahadri, however you pronounce that. So a pawn could fork some pieces, but they're both playing really fast, so a pawn has not come yet. I like the way all these players are playing so far. This is a little scary, the queen in here. So now trades are very good. I would play knight takes. Overs chat, definitely win in here. The queen moves away. Oh wow, he did it. Okay. I would consider like a knight check here. Knight at h6. Just ignore the queen. He's saving the queen. En passant is a thing here. That's reasonable. Knight check could win the queen. Over chat says no knight. And there's a knight. That queen has fallen. Over chat still on the attack though. The attack is gonna die pretty soon. Consider sacking the knight. I probably would have brought the knight back just to guard the king more. Oh, I like this pawn move a lot. I wouldn't. Okay. That's interesting. Ovediak has a much better position. Maybe just pawn in. He also has bishop takes pawn, and if pawn takes back, there's knight check, win rook. There's a lot of options over there. We're up 20 seconds. Okay, knight mates. I think he can pre-move, put in the queen where the king is, or a rook in. Rook takes knight. And then knight check, queen in, his mate. They've resigned it. Knight against Twilighter and Pablo Kaspov. There's been a sack on the right board. Ooh. And unfortunately, he hasn't developed his king's bishop yet. So now he's in trouble because of this sack. I like putting the knight in here. I mean, pawn would have been good too, but the benefit of the knight is it guards f2. He can just step king down and be safe. Don't like this bishop move. I think instead he should have put a new bishop in, something like that. Hey, Agboy. Thanks for watching. So, Twilighter is down time. If he were up time, like a pawn would be good. Or pawn at g4 to try to get this knight to move. And if the knight moves, then this is a free pawn. Okay. Well, that's a threat. That's a mate threat. Also a threat to take this knight. So this ends up being pretty good. You could throw in a bishop check. Well, he doesn't have a blocker. And if you had a knight, then losing this knight would not be a big deal, because you'd have a knight check to fork it off. In that case, you could just like drop a pawn in. Although this is with check, so maybe not so much. Like bishop here could be interesting, followed by pawn at e3. Bishop at c5. There's a lot of options, but sit-in is not an option. You're down 8 seconds. You have to find something to do. So pawn in, or bishop in. Even king down could be a thing. But you gotta defend. Ovediak is speaking to his partner in what I assume is Spanish. Maybe Romanian, I'm not sure. I'm completely baffled why they're sitting. This is an arena format, so you want to get in as many games as possible. Okay, finally he plays a defensive move. This is a free knight. We take this, of course. That is not free, though. Now knight takes knight. I don't think Pablo was really waiting for anything. The knight guards f6. I guess a rook would win a queen, but not that big a deal. I'm assuming you're taking this knight. That just hangs another knight. Okay, that trades a queen. And we could trade him back, but Twilighter just lost a whole bunch of pieces. That loses a rook. Twilighter is just hanging a piece every move. I'm baffled at all of these moves. So rook in or queen in. Mate, and there it is. All right, we're gonna watch one more game with this team, and then we're gonna start following the second place team. That is weird. Let's unfollow. All right, let's check in Ladybug's team. Ladybug is looking like strong chances of qualifying this arena. Oh, her partner was mated though. Yeah, I think Ladybug did not communicate before trading queens. Ladybug has played a whole lot of games and still hasn't picked up on some basic things like checking whether queen trades are good or bad before doing them. Okay, small pal failed the move there. Let's see. We have about 25 minutes left in that arena. Already there's some people, there's a clear first and second place team. And after that, it is less clear. I don't think these other guys are partnered with each other. The next few slots. The third and fourth are kind of wide open here. Alright, well, if they're not playing a game, then... Oh, they are. Okay. Here we see Spooky Cat and 8HT. They just... This is their first arena because they just asked to join a few minutes ago. And they asked to join around the same time, so I think they intended to partner one another. They must be friends. So there wasn't really a need to drop this immediately. I would have just taken the bishop. Because again, if queen takes knight, then you always have the fork later. You don't have to drop this immediately. I would take this for sure. And yeah, finally he takes the bishop. Pawn in looks good. And g4. Don't like that. Well, he got lucky that he went backwards. Queen and mates. Even a pawn would have made it there. probably would have moved my knight rather than putting a new one in, so you could save one for later. But this is going to be okay. Mazzarioli is trading some pieces. Unfortunately, Ladybug's getting attacked. I really like this rook move, though. That defends g7, attacks the queen, threatens to come in. Let's take this. Ooh, I hate that move. Well, it may work out. Bishop is really good for Ladybug. She's just going to use the pawn. Okay. Bishop is still really good. I don't like this knight move. Maybe it'll work out though. Knight check on g. That just hangs a pawn. Yeah, I think one of Ladybug's problems is she doesn't seem to really value material at all, and she wastes pieces while she's attacking. Which I think she's used to having partners who can feed her an infinite supply of pieces, where you don't need to worry about wasting pieces. But it's just a bad habit to get into. Like, why sack a pawn when you can just play effectively with it? Okay, knight in is mate. Knight at h5. She does not play the mate. And this is another great example of not using pieces effectively. She had checkmate and won like 3 moves in a row. But finally got the mate. Agbohoy says the part I hate is the wait during the arenas. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like, I mean, the more teams there are that are playing, the less the wait is going to be. And it's good to see we have a fair amount of teams right here. Looks like we have, what, 15 teams? Something like that. We've seen arenas with far less. Thanks for the follow from Seraform12. Really appreciate it. So Ladybug and Mazzarioli are on a streak. They may even take first place this arena. It's pretty close. Oh, Otuakena is not getting a game, apparently. Alright, so now we get to see them, the first and second place team, play against each other. Ovidiak is a very aggressive player. We'll see how this goes for Ladybug. I think Ladybug... oh, I hate that trade. So this is a habit a lot of weaker Bughouse players do, is they see a trade, they take a trade. And when you trade like that, very often it helps your opponents to develop. We see Ovidiak has much better development because she's traded on his terms and not on her terms. Generally, it's better to leave the tension. So where there's a pin, just leave the pin and instead make a development move and save that for later. So Ladybug way behind in development because of that. I like the way Ovidiak is playing a lot. He's making threats. I like this knight sack. I probably would have put the knight on the other side, but this is fine, I guess. Maybe a pawn at f4. Ladybug is saying no trades. I don't think trades are that bad for her. I mean, a queen would have mated her, but that wasn't going to happen. Oh, why did she take this? Like, the whole point of that rook move should have been to take this pawn out of there. Yeah, I feel like... yeah, she's missing a lot of opportunities. And now she's probably dead. Bishop at e5 is horrifically bad for her. She basically has not taken any of these opportunities to defend. So a knight is very good for Overdiak. Overdiak is down time though. So I think my high Andre is going to need to play a few moves, try to defend himself. Or no, I'm sorry, Overdiak is going to need to play moves, and his attack may fizzle a bit. Okay, so this knight move attacks the queen and the bishop. I think you play rook takes knight. Okay, that forces a queen trade. Is that going to mate? It does look pretty good for Mazzaroli. Okay, and that's mate. So that continues their streak. They're within 1 point of being the first place team. Our team's randomly matched. Yes, so this is, well, not quite random. So this is an arena on chess.com. There are two ways that arena pairings are done. So there's definitely some randomness involved, but there's like a weight to it where you're more likely to be paired a certain way depending how the arena is formed. And the two possibilities are a pairing by rating and pairing by arena points. And when it's pairing by arena points, like the first and second place team and third place team, they're likely to get paired against each other rather than the very low teams. So that's score-based pairing. With rating-based pairing, you're likely to get paired against people with similar ratings to you. So if you're like a 2000 and there are 1500s in the tournament, you're more likely to get paired against the 2000s. I'm not sure off the top of my head which type of tournament this is. Oh, Agbohe qualified with Ladybug already. Okay. Yes, you may qualify again here. So to be good to clarify which she would do is she qualifies two different ways. I think if she qualifies two different ways, it's up to her which one she does. That's made in one. Agbohe has got removed from his partner. That's weird. I've heard some reports of that. It hasn't happened to me though. Although I haven't played arenas in a while, to be honest. Ladybug asking for a rook. I'm not sure why she's asking for a rook. It just trades two pieces for a queen, which is not a great trade for her. Now a rook is good for Badri. Badri's going to defend a bit. You just take this. It seems like a free knight. That's free material. I don't know what Badger's waiting for. It's really odd. I guess he's waiting for a rook, but why? I mean, that threat's still going to be there. Just take a free piece. You're down 3 seconds. I'm baffled why people sit. It's so weird. This move accomplishes absolutely nothing. So let's take this free knight. Finally. And take the bishop. Again, he's gonna sit for a rook. I don't know why. It's a crazy thing to do. I mean, the queen does mate, but a rook doesn't mate. A rook, you just go up and doesn't really accomplish much. And Badgery decides to just hang a bishop for nothing after all that. Instead of taking a free bishop, he hangs a bishop for nothing. I don't know why these players are so awful. Waiting for the first to blink. Oh, yeah, maybe. But Badgery is saying that a rook mates. Like, a rook does not mate. Rook check, king up. He's going to hang another bishop for nothing. And I don't know why. There's the rook. It doesn't mate. King up. So I don't understand why they did that. You can just take all these things. Okay, well, king up. Now that's going to mate. But if we took all that, then we'd be safe. Number 1 and number 2 teams playing against each other again. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce your username. I'll just call you UA. Yeah, UA. In Bughouse, the diagonal clocks matter. So, for example, if Mazzarioli on the bottom left is up on time on Ovidiak on the top right, then if they both stall, then Ovidiak would run out of time first. That means when Mazzarioli is up on time, he can force Ovidiak to move. And that's what was happening last time, basically. The last game, the guy on the top right was up time on the guy on the bottom left. So he was waiting, forcing the guy on the bottom left to move so that he could get the piece that he wanted by his partner taking that piece. And that stalling tactic is pretty common in Bughouse. What was weird there was that the rook didn't actually mate with proper defense. And it was also weird that the guy in the top right hung like 3 pieces instead of, when his position was perfectly fine. He could have made some developing moves. He could have won 3 pieces instead of waiting for that perfect piece. But there's a strategy in Bughouse called sack sit-in, where you sack a piece and then you wait for more pieces from your partner. And a lot of Bughouse players are sack sitters. Ladybug getting attacked. Luckily, this knight covers for now. The queen covers also. So she's going to live. Mazzarioli in a lot more trouble here. Trades would be good for him. Okay, I guess he's going to try knight check after this. Knight at g2. I don't think it leads anywhere though, because king can always take this. Problem is, it's really hard to defend g7. He's probably trying to calculate on a mate, but I don't see one. Like, knight check is a possibility. Knight check, pawn check, and maybe a queen would mate in the corner. But unlikely to get a queen. Ladybug is in a lot of trouble now. Has moved the queen away where it no longer defends this bishop. This queen has to come back. But like many players, Ladybug does not know how to defend. So she's going to be looking to attack instead. Yeah, she just hangs a queen for a bishop. Don't know why. This is a terrible move. And now her position is undefendable. So really, Bughouse is a lot like chess. Um, See, a lot of these low-rated players don't seem to understand the material. So they see the material as, oh, if I lose pieces, a lot of other pieces will come by magic from my partner. And if my partner doesn't get me those magic pieces, then they're a bad partner. But the reality is, when you lose a piece in Bughouse, not only do you lose a piece on your board, but your partner loses a piece on his board as well, because he has one less piece to drop. The material is even more important in Bughouse than in chess. And when we see these people just hang in pieces, it's just a terrible strategy. So bishop's mates, probably. Bishop check. Now bishop mates. The queen mates as well. That's mate in one. Defended by the bishop on c1 there. I hate Ladybug's opening. She's hanging a pawn every game. So her partner's opponent gets an extra pawn to attack. There's zero compensation for this. Like, people think like, oh, I'm better developed, but you're not really that much better developed. Just getting the bishop out. So it's an awful, awful opening, but there's a lot of Bughouse players who play it because, again, they undervalue material. This is really awful. I don't know why you play bishop takes a knight. Again, that helps your opponent develop for no compensation for you. And now he's much better developed than she is because she's played horrible moves. Instead, you should be developing and leave the tension. All right, Mazzarioli has a winning attack though. There's no way this king can survive. Knight takes bishop and queen takes would have been a free piece, but instead of taking a free piece, she chooses to help him defend by taking a different piece instead. And now she's going to be in trouble because it's going to be hard to defend this knight. He could always trade the knight for the bishop like this, but I think she's going to lose the knight in a few moves with like this. Ladybug says, I sit, chess him. Yeah, her partner can definitely win this. Bishop check. King over, knight out. His mate. Alright, we have about 5 minutes left on the arena. Is there anyone else we want to watch? Oto Arcana still not getting games. I really think what happened to Oto Arcana is like his partner unpartnered or something like that. You just take this. I don't know what Mazzarioli is waiting for. Okay, maybe he wanted a pawn to go there, but doesn't accomplish anything. Okay, Ladybug probably has hung a knight. Okay, so he's trading queens instead. Esmeralda's Anderson hangs a pawn for nothing. Not sure what this move accomplishes. I guess it's defending this a little bit. So maybe not horrible, but it's not good. This opens up the bishop. Rook check. If you had a bishop, you could pick up a free knight with bishop at b4. Or you could just bring your bishop into the game, which is what's going to happen since there's no bishop waited in hand. Maybe pawn at c5 is a possibility. That just hangs a bishop. For some reason, Ladybug does not take the free bishop, which is baffling. So Mazzarioli would like to put a queen on e2 to guard the knight. Instead, gonna have to give the knight for free because his partner's in so much trouble here. She didn't take the free bishop before. So she's gonna be defending for the rest of the game. I don't know why. Oh, I guess that was defended. It still probably was worth taking, to be honest. I don't know what Harpier is waiting for. You really need to make some moves. So, I mean, the worry is knight check, rook in. So, may need to defend. So, how do you defend? You could drop a knight to defend there. You could. I don't think taking the bishop works. If you take the bishop, then there's knight check, knight check. You could push the pawn, maybe. Harpier has decided to just hang all of his pieces. It's not really a great strategy. Well, at least the bishop guards this square now. Now you can get away with taking the bishop. Okay, these moves are not good. Harpier is hanging all of his pieces, but this queen is going to help. And it ends up they win on time. Thanks, Downpour. Really appreciate it. Alright, is there anyone we would like to watch? So they have pulled into... The Ladybug team has pulled into first place. So queen mates. Maybe just pawn at h6. Attack the dark squares now. I don't like this move. Maybe pawn check and promote. Okay, I would take the bishop. Other possibility is pawn check, pawn check. At least that cuts off the bishop. And the game is aborted. Arena is over. Alright, so let's check the stand-ins. Where is... Okay. In first place, we have Mazzarioli and Ladybug99 with 17 wins out of 25 games for 56 arena points. That was in first place. In second place, we have Mahai Andri 99 and Ovidiak with 15.5 out of 19. So I guess they had a draw in there somewhere. With 52 arena points. Third place is hard to know, to be honest. Yeah, I think that these guys are all individual. I don't think these four were partnered to one another. Yeah, there's just a huge game discrepancy between these teams. So, I don't think these next few teams will be in the run-in. Probably the third place team then would be 8HT2B2 Chess and Spooky Cat 27 with 7 wins out of 18 games or 16 arena points. And probably fourth place, I'm not even sure who fourth place would be. Yeah, there's a lot of unpartnered teams here. So I only see 3 teams that have been unpartnered. I only see 3 teams that have been partnered through the whole arena. The top 4 teams qualify. So I think Midnight Fox is going to sort that out after the fact somehow. But yeah, congrats, Jenny Noob. Jenny Noob, there's a question from Agbohe in the chat, who is Otuak Henna, and he was wondering if you qualify multiple times, who are you going to play with? I think he wants to know whether he should qualify again with a different partner. Oh, she's saying that you didn't qualify before. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys qualified before. Yeah, I think they were still figuring that out. I mean, it, like, in my opinion at least, well, it's not up to me. The way I see it though, if you only games that you played and won with the same partner would count, but if you played most of the arena, like, and if you would have won just counting those games, if you would have qualified just counting those games, I think it should have been enough. But I don't know, it's not up to me, so I don't know. Okay, we are going to find someone to raid. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. There's going to be another arena in an hour. It's going to be an open arena, and we're going to cover that. Oh, it looks like Stellar Chess. Oh, hold on, Vernash is streaming. Looks like Vernash is streaming Bughouse. So we have to give Vernash a raid for sure. So there is one arena left in the Challenger section, which will be held tomorrow. There's still 4 more arenas for the open section. And arena number 5 for the open section will be held in an hour. So we are gonna raid our friend Renash. I hung out with him a bit at the at TwitchCon this past, was that October or September? I forget. I think it was like early October. So he's playing Bughouse. Show him some love. Drop him a follow. And I will stream again in an hour. Congratulations to everyone who qualified. Thanks to everyone who played for giving us some entertaining games to watch. Thanks to everyone who watched the Twitch stream. And I'll see you all in an hour, hopefully. Bye, guys.